Hello. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear.
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. So we are here to understand about the virtualization, right? We need to understand each and everything related to VMware virtualization, how we can set up the environment, how organization can establish our setup and manage the each and everything. Correct?
Progress.
Okay, great. Thank you for confirmation. So, and I hope all of you are aware from the IT environment. Like, I hope you have idea related to basic of networking. You know about how to handle the Windows operating system like client Windows 7, Windows 10, or 8. You are able to manage the services of Windows Server operating system as well. Is it correct? Anwar, could you please check your internet connection? Because from my side, my internet is good. Great, great. See, so I'm just going to start from very basic that you can understand about how you can prepare yourself, how you can move your domain from existing profile to virtualization. Because you know that in current situation of IT, you know that cloud technology and virtualization and automation means can play a unique role in our IT industries. So I'll guide you each and everything related to the virtualization and also help you to understand about the concept of cloud, because in the backend of cloud technology, virtualization can take the entire responsibility. So from our side, we'll try to establish our own setup. Let me share my screen and start our training. Okay, some people are still joining, so I think we need to wait 2 minutes just. Okay, I think we need to start now. Guys, I'm Manjeet Rawat and I'll give you the complete information related to the virtualization. So about me, I'm working in IT from last 14 years. I have total 12-year experience in training and education. I'm a corporate trainer working for various organizations or various vendor, you can say that. I'm good with the cloud technology like Azure, AWS, and VMware virtualization. I'm okay with server operating system. Good with Azure Virtual Desktop, VDI, and Mac operating system as well. So I'll try to give you complete information from basic to expert level in our VMware virtualizations. So let me share my screen and try to understand about the concept of virtualization first. And according to the concept, we will move ourselves to the practical part. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Please let me know if you're able to see it. Are you able to see my screen, guys? Just confirm.
Yes, we can able to see.
Yes,
Great.
yes, we can.
Great, great. So we need to start from the very basic.
Yes.
Virtualization. Okay, so very basic is this. First of all, we need to understand about the concept of virtualization. I'm not talking about the VMware because the virtualization is a term, or you can say that it's a technology, which is help us to reduce the cost, to reduce the manpower and reduce the hardware resources as well. Means in case of single hardware resource, you are able to set up a multiple VM to reduce the cost to purchasing a separate computers. So n number of providers, n number of companies are responsible to create a virtual software like as a VMware, Citrix, Microsoft Hypervisor. You know about the another like OpenStack. These all are the tools our operating system can help us to design our virtual environment. But our responsibility to set up the environment with the help of VMware virtualization. In case of VMware, we will discuss about ESXi. We'll talk about the vCenter server, vSphere client, web client, and other components of VMware virtualization. Guys, what about other guys? Because Anwar unable to hear me. What about others?
Yes, I have someone network issue.
Okay.
Yes, we are able to hear, sir.
Okay.
We can hear you, Manjit. You can proceed.
Thank you. Thank you for confirmation. Anwar, please try to rejoin or please check your internet speed. It may be issue from your side. Okay, fine. So in case of virtualization, to understand about the virtualization, because you know that if you plan to be expert in virtualization, you must need to know about the backend setup. So let's talk about the concept first, and after that we'll move our self to set up the virtual environment. For better understanding, I'm going to categorize our virtualization in two different parts. So virtualization is a technology. Virtualization is a technique that can help us to manage a setup for multiple computers. So for better understanding, I'm going to categorize our virtualization in two different parts. The first one is related to the work-based, okay, work-based, and another is related to the technology-based. The meaning of work-based means which types of tasks you are able to perform with the help of VMware. And technology, the meaning of technology, what are the tools are available in market that can help us to set up the environment. Okay, so this is our to understand. Okay, fine. So let's talk about the usage, work-based and technology-based. So as we know that whenever we purchase the computer or desktop, you need to check the hardware configuration. So in case of hardware configuration, some important components are required, like you know that RAM, you need to check your HDD, you need to check your CPU, you need to check your operating systems, and another part, drivers and application. Whenever I'm talking about the single computer, not in case of virtualization. Whenever we plan to purchase a laptop or desktop, it's our responsibility to verify the configuration of our laptop or desktop. So in case of work-based, we need to understand about what are the components that we can use with virtualization environment. Work-based and technology-based. It's only for our understanding because it's a day one. So you should know about, you should clear about the concept between work-based and technology-based. So in case of work-based, with the help of virtualization, we are able to manage the virtualization for RAM. It is also considered as a memory. We can use virtualization for memory. We can use virtualization for HDD, hard disk drive, which is considered as a storage. And third important part, with the help of VMware virtualization, we are able to manage the networking. You can manage your network, you can manage your CPUs and operating systems and applications and drivers. So you can say that with the help of virtualization, we are able to manage RAM virtualization, CPU virtualization, storage virtualization, network, OS, and application. This is the basic understanding of work-based. I'll guide you practically as well. No worry about it. And about the technology base, so technology base is also categorized in two different parts. The first one is hypervisor type 1, hypervisor type 1 and hypervisor type 2. In case of technology based, it is also categorized in two different parts, hypervisor type 1 and type 2. The meaning of type 1 is also considered as a bare metal virtualization, bare metal virtualization. And about the hypervisor type 2 is considered as a hosted virtualization. Try to understand more about the bare metal. The meaning of bare metal means we can directly install. For example, you can purchase a one desktop or laptop with good configuration like 16 gig of RAM, 4 core of CPU, and up to 500 gig of hard drive. And you don't have any operating system, no operating system available, no operating system, no OS available in this machine. So bare metal virtualization, we can direct install to the base machine. These types of application we can directly install to the base machine. This is the actual use of bare metal. Those types of application that we can directly install to the base machine considered as a bare metal. N number of examples are available, like as a ESXi, the product of Microsoft, product of VMware. And second is Zen server, which is example of Citrix. These two and one more Hyper-V of Microsoft. These three different application or software work like as a bare metal virtualization, means without operating system. You have a one desktop, a laptop that don't have any operating system. So these types of application you can directly install to your blank machine or DOS machine. This is considered as a bare metal. Hosted virtualization, as per the name suggests, in case of hosted virtualization, your system plus must be contain the operating system at least. Then you are able to install these types of software, like as I hope you heard about the Workstation. I'm talking about the VMware Workstation. Second, VirtualBox. Third option, Virtual PC and VMware Fusion. These tools are responsible to manage the hosted virtualization. In organization, we always prefer bare metal, and the hosted virtualization, it is used only for the training and testing purpose. No any organization prefer to use the hosted virtualization. It is used for the testing and only for the training purpose, not for production environment. So this is all about the basic understanding of our VMware, the meaning of virtualization. So have a look about the difference between work-based and technology-based, and please let me know if you have any question or doubt related to the basic introduction of our virtualization. Please let me know. Anyone have question related to these two different points? You can also drop a message if you have any concern, please. Sahib, please check your internet connection. Yes, ESXi is a type of operating system. You can consider ESXi as a OS, Zen server as an operating system. Yes, you can. Any other question, guys, about the basic understanding of VMware virtualization? I'm talking about the only virtualization. Any question? Hello. It's good to go. If everything is okay, we can proceed for next step, guys.
Sir, what is VirtualBox?
VirtualBox is a product of Oracle. You can install on your Windows 10 or Windows 7 operating system. And using VirtualBox, you can create multiple VM. If you have only one laptop or desktop, so it's really difficult to create a setup for virtualization. So in this case, VirtualBox or VMware Workstation can help you to create multiple virtual machines to manage the setup.
Okay. And sir, can you scroll down this?
Yes.
So it is optional, like whether we have a VirtualBox or VMware Fusion or
Yeah, any one
any
you
one
can
of them.
Yes, VMware Fusion is used for the Mac OS, right? And it works just like a VMware Workstation. But VMware Workstation is for Windows and Linux, and VMware Fusion is used by the Mac operating system.
Manjit, I have a question. So in what scenario Hyper-V 1 and Hyper-V 2 is differentiated?
It's a hypervisor type, not Hyper-V. Hyper-V is a product of Microsoft. Hypervisor type is a define the technology of our virtualization.
Okay, but I can see it is a virtual. I mean, Hyper-V 1 can see some configurations part, and we can directly install OS. Without OS, you can install some like you said ESXi. These are OS types.
Correct.
But in
correct.
Hyper-V 2, yeah. So is there a base name or example that you're giving for Hyper-V 1 and 2, or?
Yeah, it's a category that help us to understand about the technology. Means it's
Okay,
only for the
okay.
understanding. Like those application you can directly install to the hardware, consider as a bare metal. Those application required a mediator like Windows 7, 10 or Mac operating system to perform the virtualization activity, consider as a hosted.
So got it. In technical terms, if we anyone mentions Hyper-V 2 means we should understand that is like
Hosted.
it is an application based virtual machine.
Exactly. Means in this case, you need
Okay,
to
Hyper-V.
install your OS and then you can install the tool.
Got it. That is an application virtual machine, virtual box or anything.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question, guys? Anyone have any question related? Because this is the base. You must need to understand about the base of our virtualization. Because I'm going to move ourselves to the workstation and give you the step how we can set up our lab.
So Manjit, as to explain about this hypervisor 1 and 2, this is basically a nomenclature to define our application virtualization, right?
Correct.
Okay, this is just for, I mean, the classification for different, I would say it's a difference between two categories for application VM.
Actually, the category of entire virtualization is basically entire virtualization in the sense, like as if any client want to set up our virtual environment. So we always preferred hypervisor type 1, bare metal virtualization, right? And
Right.
hypervisor type 2 is only used for the testing purpose.
Testing purpose, okay.
Or
So
training purpose. You cannot use it in our real environment. In any organization, any organization prefer to establish hypervisor type 2.
we cannot use the second one, but in that Hyper 1 we can use in our real enterprise environment.
Correct.
Okay, got it. So I think every company is having the two environments, the test one and the development and the production, right? So for the testing environment, we can use this one, type 2.
Exactly. If you receive a ticket related to the virtual machine, like you are facing issues with your virtual machine, so no need to experiment on your live setup.
Live setup.
You
And
should back. Yes.
This testing setup would be having the same configuration as we were having in Hypervisor 1, right? Same structure, same configuration.
No, not required, not required. See, in case of testing environment, you can set up your environment with 32 gig RAM base, 64 gig RAM base. But if we talk about production or enterprise environment, they use 2 TB of RAM, 1 TB of RAM. So it's a totally different. We are responsible to manage the portal services, not related to the configuration, because we are responsible to manage the services which is located on our inventory.
And Manjit, how this is associated with Azure Cloud?
Azure is a platform. See, Azure is a platform. You know that anyone can access the services directly from Azure. You need to sign up yourself, purchase a subscription free trial.
How this VMware is associated, or I would say integrated with this Azure?
From last 1 or 2 years, they are start coordinating to each other. Means if you don't have a setup, if you don't want to implement setup on premises, you can purchase a pre-configured setup from from Azure or AWS from other provider. This is considered as VMware on cloud.
So you are giving this session for VMware on premise or on cloud?
VMware on premise. Firstly, we need to understand about the concept of on premises. Then you need to learn about the Azure and coordinate to each other. Means we just need to connect to each other. It's a kind of hybrid setup.
Can we prepare the same setup on Azure also? Because once we log into Azure, we can create some machines, some servers, like from there also.
Exactly. But in case of VMware, setup over Azure portal required a much amount. They charge lots of amount.
You asking for the hardware should be, in a appropriate, like
correct.
You should be meeting our requirement in terms of installing this VMware ESXi or what do you say is server.
Exactly. It's really difficult or costly in case of implementing Azure VMware services over Azure.
Then we can go for PaaS, platform as a service, I think.
You can say that this is the part of platform as a services. Implementing Azure implementing VMware environment over Azure, consider as a platform as a services. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Manjit. Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Any other question, guys? Anyone want to say something about the topics that we completed? Please let me know, because we need to move forward next topic. Any guys?
No, nothing as such, Manjit.
Great. So our responsibility, see, we are able to understand about the workspace. Means we can create a virtualization for memory, RAM, hard disk, network, CPU, operating system, and applications. Now, in case of hypervisor, we are responsible to manage each and everything related to bare metal. And in case of bare metal, we have a Zen server, hypervisor, Hyper-V, but our responsibility to understand about the VMware product. The product name is ESXi host. So next topic is related to about what is bare metal virtualization. So as per the name suggests, bare metal virtualization is basically a type of virtualization, type of virtual technology. In this case, for example, you have a good configuration based machine, like you purchase a one desktop. The desktop contain a good configuration like 32 gig of RAM and 4 core of CPU and up to 1 TB of hard disk drive. And operating system, no operating system available. So as we know that without operating system, I think we are able to turn on our computer. You are unable to see anything, but you are able to turn on your computer. Is it correct? You are able to configure BIOS. You are able to check your hardware resources. Is it correct, guys? Without OS, we can check it, right?
Power on, yeah. We can power on, yeah.
We can power on it. Second important part, what you need to do, the first step, download ESXi host from VMware site. Download ESXi host ISO image from VMware. Second step, create bootable pen drive. I hope all of you are aware from to creating bootable file, bootable pen drive.
Yes.
right? You need to use the ISO image that you downloaded and create a bootable pen drive, and then install to base machine. This is considered as a bare metal virtualization. This is our agenda. But question is that what is ESXi host, right? It's our responsibility. We should know about how ESXi host can perform the task. I'll help you to download. I help you to create a bootable pen drive. You can. I'll help you.
ESXi is license-based or freeware?
For the training purpose, you can download your any ISO image for 60 days, and it's really help to understand about the practical. For the training and means education purpose, you are able to download any software of VMware for 60 days.
Okay.
So during this training, like how much practical will be involved?
100% practical, because I established my own setup. I'll show you the setup and I'll help you how you can create. If you don't have a high configuration based machine, I'll help you to create an online lab, and with the help of online lab, you can perform the entire practical.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so this is applicable for 60 days, means it's enough to understand about the services. So what I'm going to do, first step, download. And one more important part, to set up a virtual lab, what are the prerequisites? The prerequisite minimum requirement, I'm talking about the minimum, 8 gig RAM and at least 2 core of CPU and up to 500 gig of hard drive. This is the prerequisite. And we'll install the services with the help of VMware Workstation, because you know that if we have only one laptop or desktop, so we want to use the Windows 10 and ESXi both. So in this case, our VMware Workstation or VirtualBox can help us. So this is the configuration that we can use to install ESXi. Second, what is ESXi host and how many types of ESXi hosts are available? As we discussed, ESXi is a product of VMware, and we are able to use ESXi to set up our virtual environment. Basically, it's related to the, you can say that, bare metal virtualization. So VMware vSphere provide multiple model or version of ESXi, like ESX 4.0, ESXi 4.5, 5.0, 5.5, 6.0, 6.5, 6.7, 7.0. These all are the ESXi version. You can compare it with like the Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, 8, 9, 10, and currently we are using 11. So if we talk about market, so most of organization, if we talk about current market, up to 75% organization prefer to use ESXi 6.5 because it contains the feature of lower version of operating system and higher version of operating system. Means it contains the feature of 7.0 and 6.0 as well. So if you have idea about 6.5, definitely you are able to manage the 6.0 and 7.0 as well. So I'll give you the complete details related to the 6.5. Is it okay?
Yeah, fine, yeah, good, yeah.
Next step, it's our responsibility to understand about the implementation process. Although I have already installed the, what we can say that workstation and all, but I'm going to show you the step from very basic. This is my Windows computer. I hope you all are able to see my screen. This is our Windows operating system. So what you need to do, if you new with virtualization, the first step, you need to install Hypervisor Type 2. Guys, could you please mute yourself? If you want to ask any question, then unmute or drop a message. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so like you are new with virtualization, you want to set up the lab. So let me help you how you can start work. I have already installed my VMware Workstation. This is my VMware Workstation tool. Right click and open. Although I have already installed multiple VM, domain controller, additional domain controller, XP, Windows 10, ADC, and ESXi host as well. I have already installed. I'll show you how you can install it. If you don't have a workstation, so question is that how we can get a licensed version. So it's really simple. You need to open any browser, type download VMware Workstation 16 Pro. Okay. Open first link and see Workstation 16 Pro for Windows, Workstation 16 Pro for Linux. So we want to install in our Windows operating system. So just need to click on download now. It's a 615 MB of tool. That's it. 615 MB of tool. This is the first step. Second question, how to get the license key? Because you know that you must need to use the workstation as a license because it is applicable for only 30 days. And after 30 days, we are unable to use it. So how we can get the license key? Very simple. Open another page. Workstation 16 Pro license key space GitHub. Just type GitHub. GitHub, gist.github.com. Click here. We have 3 different keys. Just need to copy these 3 keys. Copy. And paste here. The first key 100% working. Download and use this key to make it for permanent because it's a license of your 16 Pro. So this is the first step that you need to perform. Day 1, you need to perform the task. Second step, we need to download the ISO image of VMware ESXi. Again, download ESXi, which one? 6.5 ISO. But in this case, you need to log in your account. See, we are able to find it, just 328 MB of ISO image. Whenever you click on download now, it will be redirect you on login page. This is the login page, right? If you have already created your account, you just need to provide the password and click sign up. Once you sign in, you are able to download. But if you're new in ESXi or VMware product, what you need to do, you need to click on sign up now. And in case of sign up now, what you need to do, you need to create your account using any mail ID. You can use your Gmail account. You can use your official mail ID. It's up to you. But you must need to register yourself with VMware site. Is it fine, guys?
Yeah, yes.
So very basic step that you need to use to download any tool. Not only the ISO, vCenter server, or vSAN, or VMware tools, everything you can download once you sign up yourself. So in my case, I have already downloaded entire tools, entire software. Like I'm going to open my PC and softwares. I have already downloaded entire ISO image, vCenter server 6.5. 2 point something GB. So our responsibility to install 6.5 ESXi host. 6.5 ESXi, the total capacity, as we know that it's just 337 MB. Cool. Back to the workstation. This machine, if we talk about this machine, so it's a contain 32 gig of RAM, 6 core of CPU, and 256 GB of SSD, and 1 TB of hard drive. Open VMware Workstation. I'm going to install new ESXi host in our hypervisor, means workstation. File, create new VM. Typical, next. This is the place, install disk image, file, ISO. So you need to click browse, select ESXi 6.5, open, next, select the ESXi version.
Sorry to interrupt you. What is the difference between then Workstation 16 Pro and this ESXi? You said no earlier, download this Workstation 16 Pro then ESXi.
Workstation 16 Pro mandatory because you have a one laptop, right? This is our laptop, for example. So I have already installed Windows 10 operating system, nice. So where we need to install ESXi. So I'm going to use same Windows 10 machine to install ESXi, vCenter, and domain as well.
So 16 Pro will give you the UI interface for the installation of ESXi, right?
Not UI, it's give you the platform.
Platform.
Give the platform where we can set up a lab for testing purpose or for training purpose, right?
Right. Okay.
So that's why, because we don't have a multiple computer, multiple desktop, like one computer used for the ESXi, one computer for the workstation, like other. We don't have we have only one machine, so that's why we need to use it.
Okay. So you already have Workstation 10 installed on your machine.
Yeah, 10 is already installed because I have already created my setup for my server batch. So that's why still I'm using Windows Workstation 10. We'll update soon. Once batch finished, we'll update it because the entire setup replication are created in domain. So that's why still I'm using Workstation 10. So just need to click on create new virtual machine. Next, select the ISO image of ESXi 6.5. Open. Next. Select the ESXi. Next. Type the name of your ESXi host. How much space required? 40 gig is enough. We will change the capacity of our hard drive later. For now, need to proceed with 40 gig of space. Click custom hardware. When you press on the custom, 4 gig of RAM, 2 core of CPU. So I'm going to increase it. 8 gig of RAM, 2 core CPU enough. NAT, I want to make it bridge because bridge connection can help us to access the IP address from your Wi-Fi router. So I want to access my Wi-Fi router IP address to virtual machine ESXi. Close it. Finish it. Virtual machine is ready. ESXi. Now installation procedure is started. Click here to install.
So I think it's the same image as we have for Windows 10 or 7 something. It's the same installation.
Same installation. Yes.
Right.
Sure, definitely we'll share the link with you guys to download easily any tools. Definitely will help you.
And I think you said you will help us to set up like online lab or something if we don't have powerful machine.
Definitely, if you don't have a good configuration based machine, so I'll help you how you can set up your lab directly online. But the problem in case of online, you are unable to install anything. Everything is installed, pre-installed. Our responsibility to sign in and perform the practical. So I'll guide you about how we can create a account for the online lab. Installation is in progress. So it will take hardly 5 to 7 minutes to install the ESXi.
Online lab, is it free or should we have to pay?
No, is it absolutely free? You can use 3 hours in a day.
Okay.
Per day, you can use 3 hours.
Okay.
And you can perform every practical, HA, DRS, fault tolerance, migration, vMotion, every practical you can configure with the help of online lab.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Fine. So installation progress in progress. So it's also depend upon the configuration that you are using. According to the configuration, it will take time like as a 5 to 7 minutes is fixed. And it may be take more time if you have a just 4 gig of RAM or 6 gig of RAM. And meanwhile, it's taking time. So meanwhile, just go through the topics that we completed and let me know if you have any question. Anyone have question, please let me know related to the topics that we completed.
Good day, trainer, and good day, all.
Hi, good day. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good too. Thank you for asking.
Yes, I'm asking if you can please share with us the 3 links
Definitely we'll share the proper content, proper
to
documents.
install the necessary to start practicing.
Definitely we'll share. No worry about it.
Okay.
I'll share.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, guys. So this is the first page of installation. So it's really easy. Mention skip to cancel and press enter to continue. Just need to press enter to continue. Another option is F11 to accept and continue. Press F11. Very basic step that you need to use to install the ESXi host. Although you are installing on your base machine, bare metal, or VMware Workstation, simple. 40 gig of hard drive that we provided, we just need to press enter to continue. Again, enter to continue. This is really important page because this particular page, you are able to configure the password. And the password can help you to access your ESXi through GUI, through web client, or you can say that web browser. So I'm going to use any password, press enter. Press enter again. F11 to install, that's it. Last step, F11 to install. So this is the way to install the ESXi host. I hope all of you understand about the way to install. This is the final step. It will take 3 to 4 minute times, and after that you are able to access it. It is in progress. Meanwhile, I'm going to share the link of our how to download the software. You can use this link to download Workstation. About the key, which is really important. Workstation key from GitHub. This is the URL of another. In this case, you must need to sign up yourself by using your Gmail account or another account, because without sign up, it cannot allow you.
For ESXi installation, Manjit, right? For ESXi installation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because it's applicable for 60 days.
Right. So after this session, Manjit, will you be able to share all these links on the WhatsApp chat?
I already shared. Please check the chat window.
Oh, you shared on the chat window. Okay.
Yeah, I shared. Two link I already shared.
You won't be able to after this session. Maybe it will be disconnected.
No, you just copy and paste.
Okay.
And put it into the notepad.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. I got it. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, back to our ESXi installation process, and let's check. 27%. Okay, no problem. We need to wait 2-3 minutes more.
Okay. So we got two links, one for the workstation and one for the ESXi, right?
One for ESXi, one for workstation, one for license key.
Oh, license.
Hello, Manjit, I have one query.
Please.
While using a bare metal of freeware version of 60 days, is there any limitation of features or not?
No. You are able to perform entire task. The only issue in case of free trial, VMware cannot support you, right?
Okay, so perform like as HA or vMotion, like some.
Yep. HA, DRS, vMotion, fault tolerance, migration, all type, replication, even replication you can configure. You are able to perform entire task.
Okay, thank you.
Manjit, if I have 8 GB RAM, do you think my machine is capable enough to download this and do the lab?
In case of 8 gig, yes.
Sorry, 16.
16 gig. So definitely you are able to perform. You need to install one ESXi, one domain, and one vCenter server. 16 gig is enough to perform the task. Means you are able to perform entire practical.
Okay.
I'll help you to set up your lab as well. No worry about it. I'll help you to set up a lab as well, because it's really important. You must need to perform the practical. Without practical, it's really difficult to understand about the concept. So I'll help you.
On mine, I think you just I need to make sure I have the VMware Pro and stuff is downloaded, right? So that's just done.
Okay, installation process completed. We successfully installed 6.5. Just need to press enter and continue. ESXi will be reboot, and after that we will access the GUI of our ESXi host.
Sir, any material will be provided in the recordings also?
You will receive a recording of every session. No worry.
Okay, sir.
Maybe even if you can give us your OneNote, whatever you are.
Yeah, I actually OneNote, I need to collect means a 2 days session and create a PDF of OneNote and share with you guys. No worry about it.
Okay.
ESXi is almost ready to use, right? So it's our responsibility. We need to understand about the base. We are getting one IP address, 192.168.1.16 DSCP. It means that my Wi-Fi router can provide an IP address of 16. Let me show you. Second important part, if you want to be an expert in virtualization, what we did now, we installed one ESXi machine. This is our ESXi. May I know the configuration? RAM 8 gig, CPU 2 core, hard disk that we provided, how much? 40 gig. Is it correct? And operating system ESXi 6.5. Is it correct? This is the machine's information. How we can access our VM? So we have a 1, 2, and 3 different way to access. Using web client. Second, using DCUI. Third, using PuTTY terminal. We have a 3 different way to access this machine. The machine is 6.5, 2 core of CPU, 8 gig of RAM, 192.168.1.16. This is the machine, and we are unable to see any option to create virtual machine. Question is, why we need to use web client? It gives you the GUI panel. What is GUI?
User interface.
Graphical user interface.
Correct. And it is used for the configuration, IP configuration, user password configuration, the direct console, DCUI, direct console user interface. This is the DCUI page. This is the page of DCUI. Whenever you log in directly to the page, it's considered as a DCUI. But it cannot give you option to create virtual machine. Reset the password, change the IP address, reset the network, test the network, troubleshoot the ESXi, view the logs, view the supports, reset the configuration. This panel is considered as a DCUI panel. Last, PuTTY. So if you want to access, you don't want to make any changes, you want to troubleshoot it. CLI or SSH. Command line interface or SSH. If you want to access your system with the help of SSH, you can access with the help of PuTTY terminal. And it is used for the only and only troubleshooting. Is it clear?
Then log on to GUI, and run your PSCG, create role, and all that. So just run that for you to see. Right, you go through the material I sent you.
Yes, since you've done it.
Sorry, your voice is too low. Hello.
So we have 2, just like we have 2 here. Let's do one more. The one more we're going to do it for this LB03.
Have your question, asking any question, or you are talking between? Okay, so let's try to understand about the first option, GUI, because we are responsible to perform 75% task through this particular GUI panel. So what we need to do in case of GUI, as we know that the ESXi, the IP address of our ESXi is 16, right? The ESXi of our IP address of ESXi is 16. Back to the Windows 10 machine, open any browser, type the IP address of your ESXi host 192.168.1.16. That's it. Press enter. Your connection is not private, no worry. Click advanced, proceed to unsafe. This is the login page. Provide the username. By default, username is root always, and password that you configured while in sessions.
So Manjeet, is IP address is 16 by default for a VMware, or we need to manually assign it the IP address?
Actually, currently we are getting a IP address from our DSCP, from my internet service provider, ISP.
Okay, got it. So whatever it is for my ISP, I should add for that one, right?
Yeah, you can also configure your manual IP address. It's up to you.
But Manjit, when you are accessing this IP address, it's redirecting to this VMware like server.
Correct. ESXi.
ESXi server. So it's I think it's automatically mapped with this ESXi now. I mean, while we do the installation, it automatically mapped with this ESXi, the IP address.
Yeah, it's provided by the DSCP. It's provided by our you can say that ISP, internet service provider.
Mm-hmm. The same way it's working. I working M to IP resolution. So same way it's I think IP it's automatically redirecting to this VMware.
Exactly. It will provide you automatic IP address. If you want to configure manual, it is also possible.
Okay.
That password root is automatically is there, or we can change the password also?
Yes,
root?
we are able to change the password. Yes, we can.
What is the default password? ID is password and password.
Default is only the username. Root is the username which is default.
Okay.
About the password you need to configure while installation.
Okay.
And click login. This is the GUI panel.
Got it. And me how to an idea for this. I mean, a strategy, because my link from my end it's not working. I mean, first install Vim, then I should try, or
give me 1 minute.
Course. Lecture. Lecture.
Okay, guys, so we successfully access our ESXi through GUI panel. You can check the configuration by clicking on the host. See, we are able to find CPU, memory, and storage.
We can connect GUI panel from our laptop or desktop also, no?
Anywhere. You can connect from anywhere. But you should be communicate. Like I'm going to check with my another system, like just need to ping 16.
But IP address should be available. So which IP address we have?
16. We are getting IP address 16. So you just need to ping 16. Like this.
So Manjeet, still not clear with this. So for example, if a service provider is providing a 16 IP address, so you're going with the 16, right?
Correct.
Okay, got it. So I need to check my IP and then go with this route.
Yes, according to the default IP address that you are getting, and with the help of same IP address, you can connect with GUI panel using the web browser.
Got it. Now going further, if I want to statically assign any other IP, so can you just show that as well?
Yeah, definitely, we'll show you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Manjit, are you able to hear me?
I can hear you. Please tell me.
Okay. Manjit, is that the IP address is from a from our router or from a ISP? I feel like this IP is not from a ISP. This is the internal IP from our router which we are getting it.
This is the private IP address, which is the pool is configured in our router, in our Wi-Fi router.
Okay. And this is
ISP,
not a ISP IP.
no, ISP connect to the router and then ISP push the private IP address, because this is the
So
private
then,
IP address. 192 is a private IP address, right?
yeah, then I can assume this is the IP which I get it from my router, not from a ISP provider.
No, or ISP responsible to push the. If we talk about the IP address which is provided by our ISP, what's my IP? You just need to type what's my IP. It will give you the detail of your own IP address. This is the public IP address. This is my public IP address. 122, 63, 62, something kind of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is private IP address, which is pushed by ISP and which is stored in the local router that you use.
Basically, router is converting into the this IP 192. It's given by your router only.
Correct.
IP translation is the backend side, which is converting into the 192 series.
Exactly, with the help of NAT, network address
translation. NAT, right? NAT translation,
yeah. Is it okay? Can we proceed for next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. So now, currently we are getting a 192.168.1.16. This is our IP address, but I want to change my IP address. I want to make it different. So what you need to do, you need to open DCUI panel. What is DCUI panel? It's a direct console user interface. This is the DCUI panel. F2. Go to the configure network management network. Enter. Select IPv4. Enter. Currently, we are using dynamic IP address. This is dynamic IP address. I don't want to use dynamic. Select third, last option, set static IP address and network configuration. Press space bar for the selecting. Mark select space bar. Select. Change your IP address. I'm going to make it another 192.168.1. Any IP address you can proceed like as a 150. Okay. I want to use 150 for my ESXi IP address. Press enter. Press skip button. Save. Press Y to yes. We successfully saved. Currently, our IP address is 192.168.1.150. Back to the base machine. Try to log in with the browser. (192.168.1.150). Press enter. Advanced. Proceed to unsafe. Same page. Root. Password. Login. Simple. We are on same page. If you try to ping 116 because you changed the IP address, .16, press enter, it cannot impact. No activity. Is it clear about the password changing?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, clear.
Cool. So let's talk about
So
the
password changing, Manjeet, it should be done by this DCUI, right?
DCUI panel, correct.
Okay.
So now we are on page of our GUI, means graphical user interface. And our responsibility to understand about the options, each and every option. We are responsible to understand each and every option. Host, manage, monitor, VM, storage, networking. To be expert in virtualization, it's our responsibility. We must need to know each and everything. So let's talk about how we can start work with VMware virtualization. Need to start from VMware, virtual machine, storage, networking, and all. Let me explain the task that we need to cover. The another important part is virtual machine management. Guys, just give me 1 minute. I need to unshare and share it. Please let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the task of the day one task. We should know about the installation of ESXi, access ESXi using web client. Third, identification of ESXi host, GUI. Fourth one, configure VM, like as a create VM, delete VM, install OS to virtual machine, manage VMware tools, hot plug, snapshots, add disk to VM. So these all are the tasks that we need to perform. This is the day one task. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, Manjit, yeah.
So I think we completed two parts: installation completed, access completed, identify of ESXi completed. We need to manage the virtual machine. Is it correct?
Right. What do you mean by identification of ESXi?
Identification of ESXi means we are able to find the host, manage, monitor, VM, storage, network.
Yeah.
Identify the location of our services. That's it. Clear?
Hi, Manjit.
Hi.
Yeah, why we are not going for 7.0 latest version?
Yeah, see, actually, as per the company requirement, if you're new with virtualization, so you need to prepare yourself for 6.5. If you have a bit idea about virtualization, so we can proceed with 7.0. So I'm good with both.
Okay.
But most of organization, as per my experience in virtualization from last 6 years, most of client prefer to use the 6.5.
Yeah, but in October it will be 6.5 will be no more. I hope so.
No, see, most of organization updating ourselves, but not much. Up to 70 to 75% companies still using 6.5. No worry, I'm open with both, like as a 7.0 and 6.5 for both, because I have already set up a lab for 7.0 as well. So not an issue with both.
Okay.
Do one thing, we can just complete the task related to the ESXi 6.5 entire practical, and 3 to 4 different sessions will provide you the difference between 6.5 and 7.0 to understand about the actual difference practically.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Clear? Let me turn on my ESXi 7.0 as just only for the identification. Give me 1 minute.
While you're doing that, I have a question. Can I ask you or should I wait?
Yeah, sure, please.
So I'm also planning to write this certification for PCTA. Do you think I'll be capable to do that after this course?
You are applying for the VCSA, right?
Yeah, the basic one, the first one, right? The associate, I think.
Yes, yes. So after the training, definitely as per the content that I'm covering, because I'm going to use the blueprint of our VMware, so definitely it can help you to crack the examination. Okay.
Hi. So, may I know, under which certification we are covering all this?
Okay, actually we are on page of VCSA. So in case of VCSA, we will cover the entire content.
Can you please, if you don't mind, can you please show the certification of VMware and show me, which one we are?
Sure. So I have already turned on the ESXi 7.0. The IP address is 176. Let me take the both GUI panel for the difference. Okay. So this one is our 7.0 update 2, and this is our 6.5 update 2. I don't think much difference between each other. The difference in only vCenter server. Same host, manage, monitor, virtual machine, storage, networking. Host, manage, monitor, virtual machine, and networking. So not much difference. About the certifications, we are on page of VCP.
Sir, for DRS, FTHA.
Yes, yes.
Two ESXi machines should be of same version, or can we maintain different version?
No, you must need to put must need to use the same version.
Okay, then only it will be compatible for HADR.
Exactly.
I think the very basic is the associate one, no?
Right. So you can say that this is the startup, means if you want to be expert in case of virtualization, so at least we need to start from here. If you have already know about the virtualization, so we can proceed according to the company's requirement, or according to the upgradation, means that you want to upgrade for the hybrid environment or Horizon, or you can say that we realize kind of a number of products are available in VMware. Okay, so as per the contents, our responsibility to understand about the each and every topics related to the VMware virtualization.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, please. So first is that we need to cover the part of ESXi management, like as the installation we completed, accessing ESXi with the help of GUI using the web clients, and another option to identify the ESXi GUI panel, create virtual machine, understand about the options which is available in virtual machines creation, then discuss about how to install operating system in our ESXi based virtual machine, then manage our virtual machines tool, VMware tool, hot plug, snapshots, adding hard drive, removing hard drive, resizing the hard disk with our virtual machine. So these all are the topics that we need to cover in our VM management. Back to the GUI panel. This is the GUI panel of ESXi 6.5. And we need to click on VMware, virtual machine, which is 0 virtual machine. No VMs are available because we just install the ESXi host and it's a fully blank. We are able to find option create a register, right click on your VM. We are able to find the same option. Just need to click here. It will give you option to create new virtual machine, create new VM, deploy VM through OVF or OVA, register an existing virtual machine. So we don't have any existing virtual machine. So proceed with create new VM.
Manjeet, I have a question because nowadays everyone is going on Azure platform, and they are, from there they are creating the images and machines as well.
Right.
Then if I compare this VMware with the Azure, so how where we see the scope of this VMware, because in Azure, if we say it's very simple to create a machine without installing any software, any ESXi, and just only get the encryption install and just use it. But here we do many things as a prerequisite, and then we can utilize. And hardware also, we are managing the hardware requirement also as well.
Exactly.
So
See,
if I compare this with Azure, so what do you think? Like, how will you answer these things?
Azure and VMware, let me explain about the proper way, means why organization prefer to use the VMware. You are an organization, you are responsible to set up a lab. This is Azure portal. This is our on-premises setup. I'm talking about VMware setup.
No. As you know, nowadays Azure or
एवढं पण करू नका असे लोक आपण खाली फेकन ना मग समजा तुम्हाला
I'm going to
त्यांचं ना
define.
इथे असून पण वेळ द्यायची त्यांच्या सवय पडली ना
Guys, could you please mute yourself?
असंच होते
if anyone is on
सवय पडते ना नको ते बाहेर ऑडिट करा ना आपलं
Okay, let me explain you why we need to proceed with VMware. I know that in case of not only the Azure, even AWS or Google Cloud or Alibaba Cloud, these all are the platform, a public platform where we can create a virtual machine in very simple terms. No need to set up any hardware. So what happened in case of with Azure portal, we are not able to manage the resources of our hardware. We are not responsible to manage. In case of Azure, the first and important part of low security, not trusted for finance or bankers. In this case, you are owner of your hardware.
Manjeet, do you think security is not in Microsoft? They are assuring that they are giving.
No, I know. They give us a 95.95% of fault tolerance and security, but no any bankers, no any financial organization prefer to use Azure or other services. So in this case, you are owner of your hardware, plus you are responsible to manage your own security. And this is the backend of your VMware. And by using the VMware, you can create a number of virtual machines. So both side, backend and front end, both options you are responsible to manage.
And if I create the machine here, the console where it's going to save, or which storage is automatically taking?
In ESXi, the hard disk that you added, which is responsible to contain your VM, contain the file of your virtual machine, or you can configure your share storage.
.vhd format, I think it's saving.
I'll guide each and everything about the VHD, VMX. Every file will guide you how we can use it. What are the usage of these files? I'll guide you everything.
Then how will you restore your environment? You are on premise environment, and if anything goes wrong, I mean there is no any DR set up for this environment. Everything you are handling by your own. You are the only one person who is managing this environment. If anything goes wrong, how will you restore all the things on all the environments?
N number of options to create our setup. We can manage the snapshot. Start from a snapshot. Use multiple share storage.
Okay.
Create replication. Configure cluster. Manage DRS. Manage HA. Manage FT. So these all are the tools that can help us to protect the environment.
Okay.
And you no need to pay any kind of payment for snapshot, for replication, for cluster, for DRS, for HA, for FT. Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you proceed for the snapshot over Azure, okay, or for replication, correct, you have to pay the extra.
Yeah, there is a paid service.
Exactly. This is a paid service.
Availability, high availability. What are you saying about your VMware on-premise availability in terms of availability?
Availability in case of Azure, or you are talking about in case of VMware?
Case of VMware, yeah.
Availability, the meaning of availability, you can configure HA.
HA.
High availability, consider high availability. So HA can help you to protect your environment if any ESXi damage.
Okay.
Two ESXi
Hardware is a
available.
major part, I think.
Two ESXi available. If any ESXi damage, the virtual machine automatically move to the second ESXi.
Automatically moves. It automatically moves, right?
Automatic move.
Yeah.
This is the high availability in real environment. And in terms of accessing the VM over the internet, what the speed in terms of accessing the VM over the internet?
Accessing the virtual machine RDP you're talking about to worldwide?
Yeah.
It's up to you. The network access, that network connection that you are using.
That we are using. Okay.
So Manjit, here also in Azure also the that once suppose VM is down, second VM is automatically moved to the another machine or cluster, na? In
You
Azure
need to,
also.
no, you need to configure a replication.
Scaling is there, na? Manjit, in Azure, scale up, scale down is also there.
It's a totally separate part. Scaling is not a part of our replication. Replication is a separate. Scaling is a separate. Auto scaling is a separate, and replication is a separate part.
What about patches and updates?
Load
in on-premises you're talking?
Manjit?
Yes.
Is load balancing is possible here in VMware?
Which types of load balancing you're talking? Web load balancing, file tolerance load balancing?
There is a VM. You created a VM. You publish this for any commercial site, e-commerce site, and on weekends there is a load of the customers who are accessing those VMs. So the VM should be utilized with high traffic. So if the load is automatically another VM should be switch on just to balance the load. So is that possible here in VMware?
Yes, load balancer you can configure for your web service, FTP service, or another services you can configure in your local environment. We can.
Okay, same thing you can say.
Correct. And about the patches, one question.
What is the basic charges they are charging in Azure?
Basic charges for what? Like
VM one suppose.
For the VM. Okay.
Yes.
In case of you have a 4 gig RAM, okay, and 2 core of CPU, and 127 gig of hard drive with Windows Server 2012. Okay.
Okay.
For this configuration, you have to pay 3.92 rupees per hour.
Yeah, it's in per hour. Correct. It's in per hour.
Per hour.
And 2,680 rupees per month, approx.
And for VMware, if I compare in VMware, then
it's a free. VMware is free, means you are owner of your hardware now, so it's a free. No need to pay. You need to pay only for license.
Yes, correct.
Clear?
Yeah, clear. I think.
Okay, 2,080 rupees per VM charges. As
Right.
per hour, na? As per hour, na?
Headache is very less. Here, headache is in for us only, and for VM, headache is for Microsoft.
Exactly. See, as per the usage, actually, if we talk about our usage, according to the personal usage, we can proceed with VMware, we can proceed with Azure. If company policy, they don't want to transfer, they don't want to put over any single data to any other portal or any other hardware, then they must need to configure VMware.
And Manjit, the last question from my side is the migration is possible from VMware to Azure?
100%.
Okay.
VMware to Azure, VMware to AWS, VMware to cloud, VMware to Alibaba. You can.
Okay.
It's possible. Yeah.
Thank you.
VMware to Citrix?
VMware to Citrix, you need to convert your virtual machine's hard drive and you need to make it compatible with Zen server. It will take time, but definitely it's possible to convert your VM. P2V, V2V, virtual to virtual, it's possible.
Okay.
How do you handle patches and updates?
Patches and update on premises you're talking, right? In VMware, correct?
Yes.
In this part, we will find a one service. The service name is Life Cycle Management, okay? Life Cycle Management, which is one of powerful tools that can help us to perform lots of tasks like update, patches, migration. It can help you in case of migration 6.5 to 7.0. It is responsible to give you security update. It can help you to migrate VM to cloud. So this is complete package. Lifecycle management is a place where we can patch it, update the patches, migrate, security update, and VM to cloud connectivity.
So are some of these annual or automatic?
You need to configure it. You need to configure it. And
Okay.
if you mark it as an automatic update, every 15 days or 20 days, once the update releases by the VMware, it automatically pick and update.
Okay.
Any other question, guys? Because it's a day one, so you need to know about how we attend the class, how our class will be go. So it's really good that if you ask a question related, if you have any query, you can discuss.
Sorry, I'm asking you again, but if you can tell us like what is the link to the certification content we are covering, so that I can just review that.
Actually, I have already downloaded the certificates course content regarding the certification. Unable to open it.
And I think the name you were saying is core technical skills.
Core technical skill. Sorry.
No, I'm just asking, like, what is the name?
Name for certification you're talking?
Yeah.
It's a
Or the
VCP.
code?
VCP. So these all are the content that we need to cover in our training. Introduction, data center environment, installation of ESXi, virtual machine concept, virtual machine creation and management, configure and manage storage, configure storage, VMFS data store, managing virtual networks, standard switch and policies, installation vCenter server, VM migration, cluster and high availability, fault tolerance, scalability cluster, data protection, access authentication control, resource management and monitoring, schedule task and alarm, repair web client access, and we'll discuss about sealed endpoint and distributed switch. Architecture means manage the distributed switch, VMware vCenter, standalone converter. These all are the content that we need to cover in our training. We have a huge content related to the practical, and everything will give you the live practical, means how you can implement it in real environment.
So this is not combined to like any particular certification. It's like general topics we were going to discuss just to understand the entire concept, I guess.
Correct. These topic, this content can help you to crack the examination, and you can crack the any interview related to the VCSA, related to the our VCP and VCSA both.
The only reason I'm asking you all this question is because I'm planning to write some sort of certification. So maybe if you can guide like which one we should write after completing this course. That's all I want to find out. So
understood. No worry, we'll guide you about how you can prepare yourself, because it's a day one. So I'll help you to crack the examination as well.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, what is the course duration? Is it weekend classes or weekdays classes?
Weekend classes, 2 hour classes, 5 to 7 means, and we'll try to finish entire content in 1.5 months required.
Okay, sir.
Got it? This is the introduction session, like as a kind of introduction that you can recognize the class. And from tomorrow, according to the feedback, we can start by tomorrow. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any other question, guys?
Yes, yes.
Any guys? Anyone, guys?
Sorry, just one question. Like for the ESXi 6.5 download link, I saw multiple products over there. So which one we supposed to download?
6.5. You need to download the ISO image of 6.5.
But there are a lot of options, like it's standard, essential, essential plus, enterprise.
You need to proceed with data center or standard.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, everyone. So this is all for today's session, because it's just you can say that introduction session or to understand about the concept. Please share your you can feedback with the team, and according to that we can start.
Sure. Thanks, Manjeet, for the class. Manjeet, I need a small, it's a request from my end. I need a small one-on-one section for my personal, guidance. So, is it any possible?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, how can I connect?
Let me discuss with the what we can say the coordinator, and we'll I need to discuss with Amit and connect on
Sure.
call. Okay.
Definitely, I'll do that. Yeah.
What is the cost of this training?
Sorry.
What is the cost?
Actually, I don't have idea about the cost, because I'm responsible to train you. So Amit will guide you each and everything, right?
Okay.
Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. Take care. Please share your feedback, and if everything is okay, we'll connect tomorrow and complete the session. Take care. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, much. Thank
Bye.
you. You too. Take care. Bye bye.